We'll take you now to Mystic, Connecticut. A live look here. Polls are open for primary day in Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, and Wisconsin. What issues are on the top of voters' minds as we head to the presidential election in November?
That's where we find national correspondent Mike Carter joining us live from Ridgefield, Connecticut with more. Mike.
Hey guys, good morning. Well, with their party's nominations essentially already secured, voters head to the polls today, as you just mentioned, in Wisconsin, New York, Rhode Island, and here in Connecticut. It could be a preview of the kind of voter enthusiasm we might see in November for both Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Let's take a look at the map and see what states are on the map for today. We have 4 states holding primaries across the country today, including Wisconsin, a key battleground state for November. 3 of today's states, Wisconsin, Rhode Island, and here in Connecticut, have an option for voters to choose neither Biden or Trump, but rather uncommitted or an uninstructed delegate. How many of each party's voters decide to choose those options? Well, that'll be something both the Biden and Trump camps will be watching closely today. The uncommitted vote here in Connecticut, and that's essentially a protest vote. Is that an option for you?
Yes. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit tainted from the politics that I see on both sides.
I'm not uncommitted.
You're not an uncommitted voter. Why did you feel the need to come out to the polls today?
Because it's important to demonstrate that our candidates are going to have the support of the grassroots. Primary voters tend to be committed partisans, typically. I am committed to Joe Biden.
As a Republican voting in Connecticut, presidential election doesn't seem to matter very much with the Electoral College.
George Bush back in 1988 was the last Republican presidential candidate to win Connecticut.
Yeah, so I think it's a challenge. I'm going to kind of see who any third-party candidates are.
All right, so you have some uncommitted voters heading to the polls today. One person who's not uncommitted, Catherine Easton, you're from Reading, Connecticut, right down the road here. Yes. Who will you be voting for today and why?
Definitely Donald Trump. He's already got a well-proven record. Things were never better than when we were under Donald Trump. The economy was great, the borders were secure, and I was much happier with him as a president. Currently, right now, we're seeing exactly the opposite. The economy is a mess. I'm very concerned about what's happening with our kids nowadays, and, needless to say, the border is a national security nightmare.
Yeah, it's a huge issue for November. Lastly, Catherine, this uncommitted vote, do you expect this to play into the primary today here in Connecticut? And if it does, who's it going to hurt, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
I think if it hurts anyone, it's probably going to hurt Biden in the long run. I just don't see him as a viable candidate anymore. There's been so much damage, in my opinion, that's been caused by his policies. I just don't see us recovering, from him. So an uncommitted vote, they might be playing games with that, but I think in the long run, it's going to be Donald Trump.
All right, there you go. We have a Trump voter. We heard from a bunch of voters today in Connecticut. But keep in mind, guys, that uncommitted vote, what's that going to be? It's hurt Joe Biden over the last few months in a couple different primary states. We'll be watching for it today here in Connecticut. Back to you.
All right, we'll get a sense of how voters feel, and we'll have coverage tonight on Newsmax. Mike Carter, thanks so much.